So what can we do? We can use this type of logic in our data provider. Okay, let's work on it. So what I will do, I will copy this code. Okay, out there in our data provider. So what I am doing, I am going here, and I am doing, I am copying this code here. Okay, fine. So at the end, what I have to do, I have to return a two-dimensional array. So what I will do, I will return my data. Okay. Now, now in our login test, okay, we need to make sure that our data provider take in hash table. So what I have to do, I will put hash table here. Hash table string, comma, string. Okay, fine. So now this is our data sheet. Okay, where it has gone. Oh, the data has gone. Let me. Okay. See, suppose now we have three data in our login test. Our login test has three data. Now this loop will run for three times. Okay. So this will run for three times. So suppose I write here SYSO. Okay. Running login. Fine. And in data provider, I am already having my login test name as login test. Is it correct? Yes. I am already having it. Now it will run for three times. So I run this test case. Okay. So if you see, it ran for three times. Fine. Here is the output. See, first, second, and third, and all time it supplied data to it. See, I am not going to write this logic everywhere. So what I will do, I will go to my resources. Just wait. Here in my main Java, I will create a new class with the name as Java util, or let's make it as data util. Okay, finish. It will has a function static object 2D array get test data. Okay, in this I will send the name of the test whose data we are going to retrieve. Getting the things. So the name, let's put it as test name, and we will have object of XLS reader class, that is for our read class, that is read XLS. There is our read XLS class. Just a second. We will create the object of our read XLS class. So work XLS, sorry. We will create the object of our work XLS class here. So we will supply two values. One is the test name and the work XLS class object. And this will return us a 2D object array. Okay. So now this function will have the same logic which we wrote here. Okay. To return data, I will cut it from here, and what I will do, I will paste it here. Okay, let's save it. Don't cut these two lines, that is string name and XLS reader. I am putting it back to my login test because they will come from here. Okay, just a second. And here we need to write return data util dot get test data, and our here name is test name and it is XLS. Okay, fine, we will return it there. See, this data provider is not going to be only in this login test. Okay, this is going to be available in other tests also, which we are going to implement. Fine, getting the things. So now what will come? Now we will get the test. It will return the data. Okay, test name will come here and XLS will come here. Here we will have all the logic already written. Okay. So see, I have done with Maven project. I have been done with data XLS properties. Okay, read the data from XLS. Now what I am doing? I am doing with reusability of code. Okay, so be with me. I am working on it, almost done. So what I have done till now, I have made a build test class. Fine, I have created a build, not build, sorry, base test class. In this, I have a function of before test in which we have doing initialization of property files and also initialization of Excel object is also done in it. Okay, so we have done initialization of properties and Excel. So what we have done, base test, what I have done, initialization of property and Excel, then created data provider. So this is only thing we have done. It look big, but these are the only things we have done till now. But that is will help you very much. Now see what, that we are having this variable test string test name login test. So we don't require here. It will be required everywhere. Okay. So what I do, I go to my base test and I declare it here itself. Okay. Save it. Okay. Save it. While it is again showing the error to me. Okay. Fine. Getting the things. It is showing me error because I have initialized here. I don't have to initialize things here. Okay. Delete it. It here. Declare here. Save it. Go to your login test and put value here. Why it is showing error? Oh, that's the issue. Fine, 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 fine. In the base test, I haven't written public. Okay, I have to write public here. Now I have saved it. See, the error has gone. So I have to declare because this variable will be used everywhere. Not only in login test, it will be used in my test B also, test C also. Fine. See, a mistake I have done. This is my init function because this is used in initialization. I have given it wrongly. Okay, because this will be called earlier and we need to call it everywhere. This is my init function. I don't know how mistakenly I have written here, but in my base test, this is my init function because it is doing my all the initializations. Fine. And one more thing, remember, very important. See, in my test, I am writing name as login test, L capital T capital. See, you put the same name for your Java file also, login test. Okay, I am doing same here. Fine. Now, we need to initialize our test name. Remember, test name should be same. Okay, go to my login test. Sorry, go to your base test. Go to initialization function. Here we need to initialize our test name, that which test has been called. So what I do, let's write as well as so. Okay, star plus this. This means the current function dot get class. We will get its class dot and what's the name? Get simple name. So it will print the function name as, so we, which function we have called is login test. This will get the class name and it will print the login test. And now we need to see the data. So now we need to initialize our test name. What is our test name? Test name is equal to, what is our test name? This dot get class dot get dot get. Let's run it. Here you can see it is talking about login test. Fine. If now this way we will be using, see, we are now using login test. Fine. So login test will be called, it will go to its data provider and first login test will run. Second time we can run this base, see this test B, test C. So all these files can be run in a sequence. Okay. And this will help, this function will help to recognize the current function. So see, our environment is production. Fine. And which class, which file do I have to initialize? So how I will come to know whether it be suit A or it will be suit B. So what we will do, we will go to our base class. So the thing is that how the base class will come to recognize that I have to use the object of suit A. Okay, how? So I am using a trick. See here the package name. Package name is tell us the suite, the class, sorry, the file name. See, I am using here suite A. Okay, it will tell us which file I have to use. I am using here suite B. Okay, it will tell us which file I have to use. See, now in my base class, what I do, I give a command syso, okay, plus this dot get class dot get package. Okay, get name dot get name. Save it and I run. See what happens? It tells me the package name. Now I have to extract the package name and it should be same as the my file name. Okay. See one did I have done any mistake? I have to keep it as a small a. I will make the changes. Just a second. I am closing it. Yes, save. Hmm. Okay. And I'm keeping the same name. It is small. So I'm also keeping it as small only. Okay. Fine. So now it's sweet. Okay, let's continue. Now I have to extract this sweet. Okay. So what I will do here, I will split. Okay. So what I will do, I will split. See, string string arr is equal to this dot get class dot get package dot get name, and I want to split on the basis of double slash dot. So now remember my split command. Now this array will have all the arguments. Okay, fine. You need to give this double slash because dot is a special character, and remember, before any special character we need to provide double slash. So now we are, so first element will have form, second will have QA guides, third will have hybrid, and last elements will have suite. So what I do, just let you know, SYSO ARR ARR dot length -1. Okay, let's run it out and see whether it prints suits A or not. Let's run it out. See, see now it is printing suite A. Okay, so let's take it in a variable. It will be string type. Okay, okay. So now when we will read our property files, okay, in this we can pass directly this suite name. Where it is? See here. Where is my property file? So see, for the property file, what I can do? Put it like this. Remove it. Control B plus. Okay. Suite name is suite A underscore XLS. Now you go here. It's suite A underscore XLS. Fine. Now I can read the data in this. You have to structure in a good way. Okay. Let me run this code. See, it runs three times and give me the same output. See, now my outer structure of my test case is ready. Okay, now come the next thing. Now we have to work on our driver script. Okay, so here is my driver. So in my steps, I can write out initialize Excel file from suite. Okay, I have to initialize with suite. Now we need to call the driver script. Call. So driver script will be the main engine from where the execution of keywords will be done. Okay, it will be the heart. All the test cases will call the driver script, right? So we will create a new function in our driver script whose name is execute keyword. In this we will be passing a string test name, our Excel file, Word Excel file object XLS, and the hash table having the data. So it will be string and data. So these information will be passed in it. So it will execute the keyword for whichever test name is sent. Okay, and it will take the particular Excel file that is suite A or suite B. Now what I do, I have to use this driver script class object. So in the base class, I will define it. So what I will do, I will go to public driver script ds, and I go to my login, and here I initialize it ds equal to new driver script. Okay, this is how I can use it. Now we can call our execute driver script function ds dot execute keywords. Okay, in this our test name, we are already having our test name. Okay, this is our test name we are already having. Okay, our excel object is there, xls object is already there. Okay, and data is already coming here. Okay, we are using the same name concepts. Got the things? See, it's in the base class. XLS is there already initialized. Fine. Okay, and test name is already there. Okay, where is test name? If you see, this is the test name which I have already initialized, and we got the test name from here. So things are now all things are dependent upon each other. Why it is showing me error? Okay, so getting the things. Now what happened? Now over this driver script has to read the keywords from where? From our this suit a keyword file. From here we need to read all the keywords. So the first function what I will use here, I will find the total number of rows, okay, in our keyword file. Get row count. Okay, sorry there was some call. Get row count, and I have to define my sheet name here, and my sheet name here is keywords. Okay, it will provide me total number of rows. You can also print them out. Now see, now just see, If say I will be executing only those database whose run mode is yes. Suppose we are having only this row run mode as yes and other are no. So what I will do, I will go to my login test, okay, in my data provider, okay, and here what I will do, I will put here if data dot, dot get it, what is the object, run mode, okay, copy it, run mode dot equals to, and no means no, okay, then throw new skip exception, run mode is set to no, okay, we can put it like this, okay, fine. If it is no, then it will skip this case, okay. Now just run the login test. See, it passes once and skip for 2 times. Getting the things? Now let's start working on it. Okay, see, in object, just a second. See, we already have a URL. Okay, so what I can do, go here and you can put your URL here. Okay, we will read it from our keywords property files. So let's start with the loop command here. Let's go to our driver script. So we will have a for loop for int r num equals to 2, r num less than equals to rows. Okay, we have the total number of rows. Then r num plus, let's go inside it. Okay, string tcid, let's take the tcid xls dot get cell data, from which sheet we need the data, from keyword sheet we need the data. Okay, column number is column name, from where I need the data, this keyword. Okay, sorry, first I will take this id, tcid. Let's read one by one everything. Okay, tcid I will have, and we are on the r num. See, our r num is 2. Why? 1 2, from here I have to read the data. Now let's take the keyword, for keyword, go here, keyword. Okay, from keyword sheet we can take it. Fine, go here, copy this keyword. Okay, put it here, paste it here. Okay, now again copy it. Now I need object key. This object key, let's take it as object key. So I am taking it as object key. Okay. Mhm. Fine. And let's keep here object. Okay. And copy it. We need data also. Put it as data key. Take it all thing as key. Okay. And we need data from here. Okay. Fine. So just a second. Okay, okay, sorry, it will be hard now. Sorry, my mistake. It's data. Now let's print out everything. TCID plus plus keyword is this plus object. Now let me run it. Let's run this. Now see the final results. See, these are the skip script and everything came. Okay, but we don't want this test B. We don't want these test B. We have all the data. Okay, 9 rows are there, but I don't want these test B data. So I have to put now conditions. Okay, so what we will do? We will put a if condition in TCID column. Okay, like if equals test name. Okay, if it is equals to test or name, then only it will go and read these values. Okay, got it. Now let me run it. See, I have run it, and now it is showing me only relevant data. Okay, so let's extract the data also. So what I do, it is test data. Okay, so let's print get the data also. So what I do, I go here and string data is equal to test data. It is a hash table. Okay, dot get the data key. Okay, we have the data key. What is data key? Oh, so this. fine. And what I do, I am not interested in actually in this data key. I am actually interested in data. Okay, let me run it. Now see, we are getting the original data. So login test, open browser, and the browser data is, so it go to browser data. So browser is Mozilla, fine. Then URL, then sorry, then it will be none. Then it will go for URL, fine. URL it will find as rediff.com. Then it will go for site name, username, password. So all these data, now we are getting all the data. So we get the corresponding data. Okay. So we have initialized the execution in driver script, and checked the run mode also. Now what I have to do, I have to read these values from our corresponding property files. Okay. In my base test class, I have initialized my properties object. Okay. I have initialized both the things. I have initialized environment property and normal properties. Okay. So now we need to use both the properties in our driver script. Okay. So how to do it? Let's work on it. So now in my driver script, I need to pass these property objects. Okay. I will make two variables as made in base. Okay. And let us initialize both of them as same as we did in test case. Why? Because test case is calling driver script. Getting the things? So let's make some functions like getter and setter functions in Java. Let's work on it. See, they are created automatically. Just go to the end of your script before the last, and what you need to do, right click here, okay, and you will see source, and here you will see generate, getter and setter. Click on it. Okay, select both the variables env prop and prop variable and click on generate. So see, there are four new functions got generated. That is get envelope, get set envelope, property set, get property, and set prop. Okay, here we can get the environment property and we can set the environment property. Here we can get the simple property and here we can get the simple property. Okay, if you see this dot prop and this dot environment property, what it means? It means the environment variable here env prop and prop, and which is equals to what are all the property object we are sending here. See, this is very important interview question. See, what I was doing in my login test, I was initializing my driver script object. I am cutting it from here. I have to initialize it in my base test class also. So what I do, I initialize it here, driver script, init, driver script, okay. And what I do, ds is equal to, so I want to copy driver script is equal to this, and in this driver script, I will send set environment property is equal to what we were using env prop, okay. So I am using this, I am sending this value, this was the only value, okay, env prop, fine. So I am sending this value to my driver script, and we will also set the normal property object to key, okay, fine. What is showing me, okay, 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 I haven't saved my driver script, I have to save it, got, okay. So now our environment property values will be sent to our driver script, okay, fine. And this will have that property values, this dot environment will have the value of this, it will initialize basically where it is, it will load our this input stream, and it will have this file environment property dot file, and this will have our normal property file value. Now if you see in our normal environment file have all these objects which are here, that is site u, that is url, I think url is missing, username, password, click button, all these information, username, password, click, what is this, just delete it, don't need it, okay. URL, username, password, and click button, all these four things are there. I have to create a variable for url also, I will create it, wait. Let's try out one thing. What I do here, what I do, I put it here prop. We need the property that prop dot get property. Okay, and what is the key? This object is the key. Okay, okay. Now let me run and check it out whether it is working fine or not. See, navigate is null. Currently it is null. Else other X paths are coming. Doesn't it look very good? So what I can say, we have passed the property object. We have passed the property object from test to driver script, and now driver script has to execute it because we have XPath, we have data. Now things are very simple, okay, okay. Now will come the use of our WebDriver. I haven't used till now so many sessions WebDriver, but now we will use it. Now we will create classes for keywords, okay, and driver script will call the classes for keywords. So in this our keyword package, I am creating a new class with the name as generic keywords. And another class which I will create is app keywords. So now in an Excel file, we I have already told you there are two type of keywords. One is generic like open, navigate, click. These are generic for all the applications. Okay, but there are some keywords which are not generic. It We can call it as application dependent. Like if I have a keyword say for login test, mm, keyword name as validate login. So this is application dependent. Okay, this is not a generic keyword. Getting my things? So all these application based keywords we can keep it in our application keywords class. Okay, we can have public void validate, what's the name, validate login. For every keyword we will have a function because everything is performing something. Okay, so for every keyword we will have a function. Fine. Same way for generic also we will have a keyword like open browser. Okay, we can make for click also. These are reusable functions. Okay, type also I can create a function or type also we can have. Okay, and what I can do, application keywords extends generic keywords. So why I'm doing so? Because this app keyword is also extending the keywords functionality. Okay, and generic keywords are always common. Fine, I forgot a keyword, that is navigate. Okay, so what will happen now? Now from the test, say login test, what will be called? Driver script will be called, and from driver script, application keywords will be keywords will be called. Okay, I, I will continue this thing in next class because this has been a very heavy session for around say 50 minutes. Okay, just practice it out what I am doing. Thank you. It's Abhinav Johri from QA Guides. If you have any inquiry, you can call me out. Thank you.